Welcome to my brand new series called Building Beasts, where I'm going to give you all of the tools for your creature and animal anatomy toolbox. In today's episode, we're going to be learning how to draw wings. Not bat wings, not dragon wings, bird wings. In many of my previous classes that I've taught, a lot of my students get really confused on wings and find them overly complex. But it doesn't have to be that way. In today's lesson, I'm going to be taking you through the anatomy of a bird wing, so you can eventually learn all that there is to know about bird wings and how to draw them. Let's take a look at the anatomy of a bird's skeleton. Birds have a similar bone structure to that of humans do in their arms, such as the ulna, radius, humerus, and more. The finger bones of a bird have shrunk over time, but can still be compared to human hands. A huge reminder when it comes to the makeup of bird bones is that they are filled with small air pockets, allowing for the bones to remain strong, yet light for flying. We won't be getting into the muscle structure today, but all you need to know is that it's a bit different than humans in order to fly, kind of like a pulley system. There are different sections of feathers that do different things to help a bird fly. The primaries, the secondaries, and the tertials. Primaries, or flight feathers, are the bird's hands that help aid in precise movement. The secondaries help to form an airfoil, and the tertials help to protect the primaries and secondaries when resting. Looking more in depth here, there are also different feather sections that aid in flight. We have a variety of covert feathers that range in size and strength. The alula is like a bird's thumb, having about 3 to 5 small feathers coming from it. It can be manipulated for different angles and to help in flight. Let's do an exercise to help you better understand the movement and anatomy of a bird wing. You can actually do this exercise at home. Spreading your arm out, you can better get an idea of how a bird wing may move. You can flap your arm using your shoulder to better understand how a wing flaps. You can also bend your arm inward to better understand how a wing may fold in on itself. There's other movements that you can do with your arms to better understand how the feathers may move. Hopefully this exercise overall gives you a better idea about how a bird wing may move. Did you know that there are actually different wing types? Certain species of birds have a variety of wing types to help with a slew of maneuvers and flying patterns. Here are some examples that I found from the website abcbirds.org. Elliptical wings. They are typically found on birds that don't often migrate long distances and live in forests. This wing type helps the bird to fly in tight spaces and to quickly do so for short periods of time. Some examples are doves and sparrows. Active soaring wings. These wings are narrow and long and are typically found on seabirds. This helps them to soar for long periods of time with little effort or flapping their wings. Some examples are seagulls and albatrosses. Passive soaring wings. These wings are wider and shorter than active soaring wings and can help birds to take off easier. The primary flight feathers will have slots, aiding in catching rising air columns called thermals. Examples are eagles, vultures, and ospreys. High-speed wings. These wings are best known for speed. They are long, pointed, and slender. These birds can beat their wings at a fast rate to get to high speeds. Some examples are falcons and hawks. Some other wing types we won't really go over are flightless birds, penguins, and hummingbirds. Now that we better understand the anatomy of a wing and the different types, let's go over the different feather types. Let's quickly go over the feather structure with a diagram I found on Bird Academy. Feathers are made up of 4 different parts: the calamus, the base of the hollow shaft, the rachis, the center of the hollow shaft, the barbs, branches off of the main shaft, and the barbules, secondary barbs that interlock. Down is a bit different and they have loosely arranged flexible barbs and are different than main feathers. Does all of that make any sense? There are 7 different types of feathers on a bird, mainly based on where it is and what its function is. Wing feathers are designed for flight. They are almost windproof and are also adapted to not twist in flight. Down is a short, loosely structured feather that helps birds stay warm. Contour feathers are like roofs, as they overlap over the entire bird's body. These feathers can be waterproof and are also found on the wing, known as coverts. Semi-plume feathers hide underneath a variety of feathers on a bird's body. They also help with warmth. Bristle feathers are found mainly on the head to help protect a bird's eyes and face. Phyloplume feathers help in aiding a bird to know where the position of contour feathers are. They act kind of like whiskers. Tail feathers are like a fan, helping to support a bird in flight. They are somewhat structured like a wing and helped to steer. Drum roll, please. We're finally to the moment you've all been waiting for: how to draw wings. If you have a printer, a digital tablet, or even just MS Paint, grab a picture of a fully spread out wing like this macaw wing I have here. We're gonna do this really simple and fun exercise to help you understand the shape of a wing and where to place the different feather sections. First things first is go ahead and trace the overall shape of the wing. It does not need to be super detailed at all. Next, you're going to identify where the bend of the wing is and draw a curved line down the center. This is going to indicate where the bird is bending its wing and how it is going to fold it inward. The next thing you're going to do is to break down the wing into different feather sections. Draw small curved lines and shapes so you can understand where the coverts and tertials and things like that go. This exercise is here to help you understand the basic shapes and the overall placement of the feathers. Now we're moving on to the big exercise of actually drawing a wing. So we're going to be applying the same idea and the same technique as the previous exercise when first starting out. The first thing is to find a reference image. I have a mallard duck wing, and I'm going to draw the overall shape of the wing. Next, I'll find the bend of the wing and break it in half with a curved line. Then we're going to go ahead and find the different sections of the feathers by outlining them with curved lines, like this. Then we're going to move on to the most crucial step, and this is where people get really confused, and that is how to draw the feathers. Feathers overlap each other on the wing, and you can clearly see the direction the feathers are overlapping with my reference. Something that is going to be so much easier than drawing out the feathers individually, and that is placing down lines. These lines will act as the outside of the feather, not the center shaft. Draw your lines in the direction an individual feather is facing. Now, you do not have to get super technical on the smaller feathers towards the top. This is something you can stylize if you want to. I definitely never get super worried about the details. After we've placed all of our lines, you're going to go ahead and connect them. So this is all going to depend on the type of feather and the shape. The covert feathers are going to have more of a semicircle bottom shape and are going to come up kind of like this. And on flight feathers, they're going to be more pointed. Different feathers are going to have different shapes, lengths, and spaces. This is also super dependent on the species of bird that you are studying from. How you go about lining and drawing all of the details of the feathers and completing the entire wing is totally up to you. I started towards the top because the coverts are going to overlap the flight feathers going down. And towards the end, you should have a completed wing just like this. You can go ahead and do anything you want with it. You can add tons of details, you can render it out much more. And now, hopefully you have a better understanding of how to draw a wing. Well, I hope you guys got enough tools for your wing anatomy toolbox and that you learned something today. What kind of anatomy would you like to learn next? Make sure to leave a comment down below, as I'm taking a lot of your guys' feedback on what I should do next. Thanks so much for watching. If you're wanting to stick around and learn more about anatomy, creature design, fantasy, and more, make sure to click that subscribe button. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!